Hello, my name is Jason Pitt and I would like to introduce you to the First Orchard 100% More Effective Planner and the 100% More Effective Meetings to help you be more productive. Well, I'm here to tell you the biggest problem every company has is time effectively, time management, using our time more effectively. In the average SME in the UK, there's something like a 25% waste in productivity. My feeling is it could actually be far higher than that, and that there are companies out there that can be 100% more effective by just putting the mind to it. So we've come up with two planners which are available to members of Made in the Midlands, Made in Yorkshire, Made in London and some of our other brands, to help them benefit from some of the ideas that we came up with in the company to help our team be more effective. So planning your time more effectively and having more productive meetings, because how many meetings do you go to and you think, well, that was a waste of time, or you didn't get the outcome that you wanted, or you didn't create follow-up action or do the research properly. So that's what this is about. If I start with talking to you about the more effective planning though, if we start off with the opening pages, it's a planner in a traditional sense, so you document what you're doing in the day, but it's also a journal. So we're doing it as part planner, part journal. So the idea here is at the start of the day, you write down your goals. You know, what is it you want to achieve from the day or the week? What are your big successes? And over here, you document your successes as and when they happen. Quotes. The quotes are actually your quotes. You don't necessarily have to use other people's quotes. This is particularly good if anybody's looking to author a book or quote themselves or have your own inspirational thoughts. We have a series of stickers which can be fixed here, so all the way from 100% more effective to you've made a sale or you've made an achievement. People think that this is only relevant to younger people, but nobody's too old to have a sticker book. Anybody remembers those Panini sticker albums and the fun that you maybe used to have when collecting those stickers? We still get the same sort of pleasure from a job well done and a success. So that's what that's about there. At the back of the planner, you'll see some rather large goals. So we've got these goal thermometer. Anybody who used to watch Blue Peter will remember what that was all about. Notes and ideas, goal, achievement date, reward, and steps to achieving those goals. And that's all about setting yourself a big goal. And you don't necessarily need to know exactly how you're going to do it, because it's all about engaging the subconscious, which is you want to achieve something, and you're allowing the subconscious to work on that problem. But by actually setting a goal, it's a bit like you've got your GPS system. You've plotted a destination route, and over the course of time, you will actually achieve that goal a lot more effectively than if you just hop in your car and just drive randomly or aimlessly in a particular direction. So it's all about engaging the subconscious. And a really good example of illustrating that is if you think about the conscious mind, for example, can actually only remember 6 or 7 things. So if I was to give you an 11-digit random telephone number, for example, you would probably only remember the first 6 or 7 digits. That's the way the brain works. Consequently, the subconscious mind can process something like 2 billion bits of information per second. So you're talking about the world's biggest supercomputer versus a pocket calculator. So goal setting really is not about you consciously trying to solve every single problem. It's about you engaging all of the brain so you can achieve the outcome that you want. If we go back to the 100% more effective meetings, this is probably the most important thing that we've done, because meetings are the biggest waste of time, generally speaking, or the enemy of productivity that any company faces, whether that be an internal meeting where you're having a staff meeting, you've got 10 people in a room for an hour, so you've got 10 hours worth of potential waste there if something doesn't get properly actioned. And at the end of the meeting, people are thinking, well, what was all that about? And everyone has those meetings, or you're meeting perhaps a client and it's the wrong person at the company, all sorts of things. They haven't got the money to spend or to invest in the business, all sorts of reasons why you think maybe that meeting wasn't particularly productive. So we've got tips on how to have more productive meetings, sales process for those people who are having sales meetings. But importantly, because my background is publishing, I wanted to incorporate shorthand within this meeting journal. So there's something called rapid logging, which is a form of shorthand where you can document particular activities or tasks, so you can document data a lot quicker, and you put that in the margin of the book. So if I click to here, for example, so you put the activity in the margin, and then a short overview what you're supposed to be doing or what happened in the meeting. But this is written on a business canvas style, so you have here pre-meeting research. So before you have a meeting, you should really know a bit about the customer. Why are you meeting? If you don't know why you're meeting somebody, if you don't have an agenda, then really you shouldn't be having that meeting. And that agenda should also be with the person that you're meeting with as well. And it's a way for you to understand if the objectives are going to be met and if it's even worth meeting in the first place. Pre-meeting research, that's about you taking the time to invest in learning about that meeting, the purpose of the meeting, the company, the person, whoever it is you're meeting, not just to turn up and say, well, tell me all about you, and not to even have a clue what they do. Follow-up information. 80% of salespeople, for example, don't follow up after the meeting. It's quite common. So what would you do after the meeting? And you have to really do this within 24 hours. So follow up, send email, add them to LinkedIn, just form that connection to have some sort of value and purpose to the meeting. Who are you meeting and where? Pretty self-evident, but is a person you're meeting capable of making the decision for the purpose of the meeting? And then what we do in our company is we take a photograph of this, we upload it to something like our CRM system or Slack, which is a kind of company messaging system. It lets everybody in the company know who we've met, why we've met them, what the action points are. It lets the support team know what they should be doing as an action point from the meeting. And more importantly, it focuses the person who's having the meeting with what they should be doing, which is following a process. Towards the back of the meeting book, we have more effective networking. Networking is something that some people are very good at, and other people, they're like wilting flowers in the background. They're blending into the wallpaper almost, not necessarily great at it, but it's something which, if you want to be successful, if you want to really do well in what you're doing, whether it be career, working for somebody, or your own business, you really need to have to be good at networking. And the good news is everybody can master this skill. So this is again sales process for networking, or maybe just choosing a supplier or whatever, where the organiser, what are your objectives before you go to the networking event? So who do you want to meet, who would you like to talk to? And it's very important that you don't necessarily spend too long with the first person you speak to who perhaps offers a completely irrelevant service to what you require, in which case you're wasting a lot of time. So I always try and aim to meet at least 6 new people at a networking event. We list them down here, for example, add them to LinkedIn, send them a follow-up email, and then send them something of value, perhaps add them to your CRM system with a footnote. Because just because you can't work with somebody today doesn't mean that you can't work with them tomorrow, or they can't refer work to you, or vice versa. So it's always worth documenting it. And the thing I really like about this is you've got an overview of not just a list of business cards, which doesn't necessarily mean anything, but you've got a kind of geo-tagging device, because you know which businesses you've met and actually where you've met them.